Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Olga is here. For those of you who haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel. Please hit the bell as well to get the latest notifications about the videos I post out there for you guys. And today's video, it's going to be slightly different. It's going to be a short video and it's going to go into my makeup confessions category as well as makeup tips, and I will explain why that is. First of all, I want to throw it out there that I do love and adore how raccoons look. But each time we think of the eyeshadows, and especially like a smoky eye or black eyeshadow, it can be a little bit intimidating if we are new to makeup or if we just haven't played with that kind of particular color, and raccoon eyes do come to mind. Why I'm talking about this is because when we purchase an eyeshadow palette, we kind of have an inner dialogue with ourselves. We might look at it and say, okay, well, it has the majority of the colors that I like, or maybe I would be willing to play with certain colors, or you know, it just has pretty color arrangement and I want to buy it because I can and because this would be quite something fun to own. But there is one particular color that I've noticed, at least when I'm talking, especially when I talk to my friends and when I showed off my palettes, sometimes this question pops up. They see the black color, like something like this, right? And a lot of times I had people say, well, there is no way I'm going to put black on my eyelids. I have no idea what I would be doing with that color. Why would I ever want to do that? It's not like I want to have a solid lid that looks black. And each time I would show my palettes, each time a black eyeshadow pops up, like let's just open up this VZ Golden Hour palette, like the Tuileries right there. I noticed that people are intimidated by that, and I didn't necessarily know how to answer that question or how to bust the myth about the black eyeshadow right away when my friends were asking me, but because it was an interesting question and the question was spoken and it's out there, you start thinking on it. And after some time I started thinking, how did I at first feel when I just was getting into makeup and being interested in eyeshadows? And I'll tell you how I felt. The best way for me to answer that question and how you should work with a black eyeshadow if you're just a beginner and what you are experiencing as a beginner. When I used to be very much new to eyeshadows and palettes like that, I remember that I got a makeup palette, eyeshadow palette from Lancome in Macy's. There was a black eyeshadow, and I remember looking at that and I experienced the exact same feeling that my friends are sharing with me right now. It was like, oh man, there is never in the world that I'm going to touch the black eyeshadow, period, because I don't want to have a raccoon eye, you know, I don't want to do any smoky eye that I have no idea how to do. And I remember having those fears. But then as I got more and more interested in makeup and all of that, I of course, you know, bit by bit, you build up on experience and you apply eyeshadows and you play with them, and it's trial and error. And of course, I forgot completely about that initial fear when I was starting. So for me, it's not a problem anymore. But when I heard that question from my friends, I was like, well, I guess it's important to address that. Well, first things first. We don't have to make the whole lid black, right? It's not always about smoky eye or about that dramatic look. You can think about a black eyeshadow or dark brown eyeshadow as something that you can use, first of all, as an eyeliner, right? You can put some of that on a very thin, precise brush like this, and then you can tug that into the eyelashes right here and sort of build that soft eyeliner look with it. So that would be the first thing that you could do. You could also run it underneath here. For that, you do need to have like small precision brushes. You really cannot do it with something like this. But let's say you do want to use this type of a brush. And there is, of course, a way to play with this kind of an eyeshadow and not have to be intimidated and afraid of it. So right now what I have is this kind of a look that I had done with the Prism by ABH palette. But here's the thing. It doesn't have to be complete yet, right? I can go in like Tuileries in the golden hour. And what I can do with this is I can start adding that into the crease of my eyelid and basically cause some definition and shadows. So think of this black color as something that you can use to create dimension, more shadow, deepen that crease for a more dramatic look. You don't have to think of it as a all-over color, which of course does have its presence in makeup world and absolutely is there, and it can look absolutely stunning, but it's not an everyday look, right? So you can just use the black eyeshadow as an eyeliner, tuck it into the eyelashes, or you can use it for some definition work and just kind of use it to build up the intensity of that deeper crease. Now here's the thing, you saw me going into the Golden Hour palette by VZ Art. Of course the ABH Prism does have its own black and its obsidian, but the reason I hadn't gone into that, even though I have approved this palette, obsidian for me represents something pitch black. Like, I want the blackest black eyeshadow that there is, and with this particular color, let me just swatch it on the back of my wrist with a finger and show you. Well, first of all, this is what it looks like, but if I were to do a swatch, you see it's pretty gray. I mean, it's not really that intense. Now for me, I'm not the biggest fan of this color, even though I like the whole palette as a whole thing. But for somebody, it might be actually playing to their advantage, because what if you don't want a very intense black eyeshadow? You might be one of those people who likes to build it, because yes, if you go into VZ Art, which are highly pigmented eyeshadows, you might have just gotten that color on and got a lot scared, load of color to blend out, and you don't want to do that, and it's a lot of work. So maybe having something like this, you know, is actually a little bit better for you. You know, you might say, okay, so yes, this obsidian color is not very deep, but I actually enjoy this pigment because that allows me to have more control. Absolutely. That's why this is all in the eye of the beholder. That's why there are so many eye palettes and so many different ways to press the eyeshadows and so many different pigments and so many different ways to do it, that because it is very, very much preferential. Somebody likes very rich pigments, somebody prefers to be able to build up to that. So basically to each their own. So I hope this little mini tutorial makeup confession video is going to be helpful for you guys. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and please leave me your questions, comments in the section down below. Please do not leave me spam. I will delete it. I hate spam. I do not spam on other people's channels, so I expect other people not to spam on my channel. But with all that said, guys, thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll see you all in my next video. Love you. Bye!